Right. All right. All right. Peace, 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 peace. Come on in. Come on in. Hope everyone is doing good today. We are back again. I wasn't planning on being back again with this, but I was provided some information and I said, you know what? I got to double back just one more time. Ramadan about to start, so let me get this out the way so I can get focused. So come on in. Again, let me drop the link in there. Did I press enter on that? Okay. Boom. Just drop the link in the chat. Again, putting it out there. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami, Moorish American. Glad to see everybody. Invitation is open for any and all Moors, specifically, well, any and all people, but specifically Moors that support Taj Tarik Bey, follow Taj Tarik Bey, believe in Taj Tarik Bey, worship Taj Tarik Bey, uh, anybody like that. Come on down. Let's have a discussion. Or maybe you don't worship Taj. Maybe you say you don't follow him. Maybe you just say Rami is wrong. Rami is incorrect. Rami is lying about this information. Come on down. Let's have a discussion. Yes, yes. Let's have a discussion. Let's have ourselves a discussion. This brother says, behind the wheel says he doesn't think I can understand the law at all. I appreciate the opinion, good brother. It's all good. Come on in. Oh, I appreciate that comment. I appreciate that comment. I appreciate that comment. Peace, peace, peace. We're giving folks a second to come on in before I start. Matter of fact, let me load up the video because we got some footage today. We got some footage today. Where are we going to start with? Let me get my notes. Let me get my notes. Let me get my notes. Which one are we starting with? How are we going about this, huh? How are we going about this? I think, okay, we got the old school video. Okay. Then we got two old school joints. I think we're going to go with that there. Yeah. I think we're going to go with that there. And then we'll hit the streets. We'll hit the streets and follow up with that one. Yes, sir. But again, anybody, let me get this clear. Yes, okay. Anybody that supports Taj feels, that information he's been putting out is right and exact, and Rami is wrong, Rami is against unity, anything like that, come on down. Let's have a conversation. And I told Mantis Views, Ms. Raim, Mantis Views 29 in the last stream because he didn't show up. I said just ignore it. But if he's watching in the shadows, come on down. People from RV Bay Publications, come on down. Let's have ourselves a discussion. Let's have ourselves a discussion. But let me get to the video. Let's get a little Taj. Let's get a little introduction from Taj, huh? Let's get this party started. We how much we okay, we almost at 5 minutes. Once we get to that 5 minutes, we'll get started. All right. We gonna get that Taj video. Oh, perfect. Let me just get it lined up. Okay. Bam, bam, bang, like that. Yeah, okay. And this is the thing, good brother. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. Let's take it off of me. Let's put it onto the information. Is this information correct? Is this statement true or false? Is it correct or incorrect? See, if you take it off a person and put it on the statement or on the claim, then it's less about emotion, it's less about picking a side, and it's more about the truth. Does that make sense? That's how we're gonna rock today. That's how we're gonna rock. Let's go ahead and pull up this Taj video. Let's get started with the introduction, huh? So we got some footage to analyze. huh? Okay. All right, so we can go ahead and start it with this real quick. There we go.
Yeah. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do Morgan Smith last. Do that too. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, these folks travel all year long. When they come here, they just come back from New York the day before. They're in Philadelphia 2 Saturdays out of the month. They're in Delaware the second and third Friday of each month. Y'all have a treat in front of y'all. This is a luxury. I'm being real. I ain't no brown nosing type brother for those who know me. I'm being real with this. Ain't no hype. This is a luxury to have a master teacher teach you the things that you've been getting from
hold on, pause for a second. A master teacher, huh? A master teacher. Let's continue.
I hope you have your pens and papers ready. And I hope, as I said last year, Brother Andre Muhammad has CDs of this class ready to rock and roll when it's over. Because you got to hear this stuff over again. I know I play this stuff in the car all the time. Because you want this to dig into your subconscious. Y'all feel me? Because then y'all can internalize it. It's real. Like when we're doing paperwork for some of you all, and those alphabet people give you a call, believe me, I know how it feels.
Doing paperwork, huh? And them alphabet people call. Let me break that down in case you wasn't clear. He's introducing the quote-unquote master teacher, Taj Tarik Bey. And he mentioned about how, hey, they got the CDs ready for you once we done. For purchase, of course. See, that's part of the scam. We're going and part of self. We're talking about Taj Tarik Bey and the Moorish scammers and exposing them, speaking the truth. And now we got this brother. I don't know the brother's name, but he's introducing Taj, the quote unquote, again, master teacher. Made sure to let folks know we got the merchandise for sale. We need your money. And he slipped up and gave a warning. He tried to joke around it, but he gave a warning. Hey, this paperwork stuff that we're doing, it'll get you a call from some federal agents. Then you might get scared. Look, you gotta listen. Hey, they sometimes slip up and tell you the truth now.
Like when we're doing paperwork for some of you all, and those alphabet people give you a call, believe me, I know how it feels. You're scared to death. But you got to internalize this information so it can deep down into your DNA. Okay? And this brother right here is giving it. He's giving it. He is giving it. So let's give him a round of applause. Let's first stand up.
Thank you.
And give this brother a round of applause for Brother Taj Tarik Bey.
Islam. Give yourself a round of applause. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, you all.
And I just note real quick, see, this was still in part of the scam when he was being introduced as Brother Taj Tarik Bey. He didn't implement the Grand Sheik Taj Tarik Bey, at least in this video. But it's, it's part of the scam, part of the con, part of the fraud. Because remember, if you didn't watch the last video, we established for fact that Taj Tarik Bey is not a Grand Sheik of any Moorish Science Temple of America. He is no official Grand Sheik. He's no legitimate Grand Sheik. He is, in fact, lying. When he claims or titles himself as a Grand Sheik, it is a lie, which is part of his scam that he's been conducting for about 40 years now. But let's continue, okay? All right. I wanna go ahead and I wanted to skip ahead to a couple of things he said. Yeah. Real quick, and then we're gonna drop over to another video because I want to get this all in there. All right.
Two things we want to talk about. I'm going to give you, when the brother comes back with some papers, I'm going to give you some codes that you're going to do in your homework that you're going
to. And as you can see, Moore's Order of the Round Table, just to be clear, That was an organization that Taj Tarik Bey, an offshoot organization, and we'll go to that clip in a minute, that he created. An offshoot not to help uplift humanity, not to do the work that Noble Drew Ali set out, because Noble Drew Ali already had an organization. Taj Tarik Bey created his own separate organization and specifically and explicitly stated that it is not a religious organization or religious group such as the Moorish Science Temple of America, letting you know he's going away from what Noble Drew Ali was teaching, away from what Noble Drew Ali was about. But let's continue.
Look up while making your arguments on mortgages, etc. And as you know, the same thing occurs with credit cards, etc., etc. One of the things that everybody must know and recognize and remember, what banks don't tell you and politicians don't tell you, that whenever you make a deposit, or so the problem that they have, and particularly the sovereignty groups, i.e. the European so-called sovereignty groups, they're telling a lot of truths, but they're trying to maintain wealth that they amassed against your estate. So they always.
I want you to listen closely here, because this is an older video. So Taj Tarik Bey is going to mention some sovereign citizen tactics and some buzzwords that he doesn't mention anymore because he's elevated his finesse game. He's elevated the scam, so he doesn't use these terms anymore. But listen closely. You'll hear in a second.
Always go to what you call the edge of the door when they make the sovereign argument, because the only way that the sovereign argument can actually hold water, meaning that on ultimate claim, is that the heirs of the estate must be named, because no holder in due course can hold any estate unless they are heir to the estate. And keep this in mind, because we have a tendency to forget that the Europeans here are foreigners. You know, and so when you look at them as Americans, you must look at them as corporate Americans, what you call statutory, because they're really not Americans. That's a statutory status under the Naturalization Act, means they're clothed conditionally with the alleged so-called American citizenship. But that's only under treaty and constitution auspices. And once they violate that constitution, basically they should have been deported. But because they have Blackwater and a lot of other COINTELPRO operatives, they've been operating under color of law. Don't confuse their colorable operations with legitimate operations, because the U.S. corporation, religious corporation, has been dissolved. The real problem is that the heirs, which is yourself, doing just what you're doing right now, are going through a baptism, a purging, because you don't yet, you know who you are, but you don't know who you are yet. So by default, it gives Rome mandate, not morally, but by default, because you're not being yourself yet. So keep in mind when you're studying things.
Look at all them beautiful people, man. Don't even understand they getting scammed. I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me continue.
That the Romans might put out, because they're going to be telling a lot of truths because they're being forced to. However, always put it in context. And so keep this in, this is very important to keep this in mind. Common law is recognized by virtue of your capacity to trace back to a common custom. Are we clear?
No, we're not clear. But I wanted to point out that part right there. Him mentioning common law, and his whole rhetoric is nonsense anyway. But I wanted to bring this up because he doesn't speak about quote unquote common law anymore, because it's clear that is a sovereign citizen term that gets thrown out there. But see, the footage is there. Back in them old days, before he progressed to the fraud and the scam of Grand Sheikh Taj Tarik Bey, he was using those old school, you know what I mean, the foundational sovereign citizen terms. Before he elevated the scam to a more sovereign citizen, nah, he just was working with the basics and using a term like common law. And then he also was talking about, you know, the U.S. is a religious corporation, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really going to get into all that, but I wanted to show you that just so you can see he's been dropping those, he's been infusing and putting in those sovereign citizen teachings for quite some time. You got to be careful. You got to pay attention. This dude is a real, he's, you know, unfortunately, he's very good at scamming, very good at finessing, very good with the fraud. And if you're not paying close attention, and if you're too naive or you're too, you know, if you're just wide-eyed and you just believing because you see, oh man, everybody's saying master teacher, so he must be wise. Well, then you get hooked and you get played. But let's see, do I want to say any more on this?
Whereas common law doesn't apply to you just because it says common law. Common law applies when you have a trace back to what is known as common customs, and the common customs is attached to a pedigree, which means if you don't have a nationality, you still can't argue common law. And a lot of people don't recognize that, you know, they get documents and they start making common law arguments. You know, this is including people when the brothers and sisters are making common law arguments and they still claim to be Negro, black, and colored. Common law doesn't apply to them. You know, anybody that thinks human beings are crayons, common law doesn't apply to them because that's no pedigree. That's no bloodline.
See, back then he was trying to say you can't use common law if you still call yourself Negro, black, and colored. The inference or the what he's suggesting, what he is trying to get you to believe is that, oh, but see, if we call ourselves Moors, then we can use the common law. And we just need to buy his paperwork. Oh, and we got to buy his CD so we can listen to this again and understand it. Oh, and we need to go to some more lectures of his. Oh, and we need to get the paperwork authenticated. Then we'll be official. This is the scam. Are we clear? Are we clear? All right. Any questions? I don't see any Taj Tarik Bey supporters that wanted to come on. I guess we're all in agreement. Everybody understand following the scam so far? We're going to slide on over to another video, okay? This one is important too. This one is important too. Where do we start with this one? Was it at the beginning? Let me see. I put some timestamps. And I did have some questions. I'll start at the beginning a little bit. Let's see what they're talking about. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's pull it up. Well, I appreciate you being able to be honest and sincere about it, man. Great question. Great question, Jonathan Scott Bey. Did the noble Drew Ali stand on common law or civil law? Answer. Noble Drew Ali never mentioned quote unquote common law or quote unquote civil law. He didn't mention those terms. At least not to my knowledge. I've never seen it anywhere in any of his literature. You know what he did mention? Jonathan Scott Bey. You know what he did mention? Moors. Us being American citizens. Us needing to respect the government. Follow the law. And not some divine constitution of Moorish America, not some constitution of Moorish or not some great seal constitution, and none of that. He was talking about the Constitution for the United States of America, just like all other American citizens, like Irish Americans, like Brazilian Americans, like Mexican Americans, all of those American, Chinese Americans, who else? Who else? Nigerian Americans, throw that in there. Polish American, where all American citizens have to follow the Constitution for the United States of America. It's very simple. Not common law and not Taj Tarik Bey's law. Okay? Are we clear? Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. Okay. Let me pull up the other video now. Let me see. Let me see. Got distracted for a little bit, but we back on track. Okay. Present, share screen. Okay. Boom, bada bam, bang bang. Okay. Okay. Now this video here, dang. Yeah, I'll play this one because the last one I want to play, it connects to some other stuff. So I'm gonna play this one first. So let's go.
And when I first started bringing you onto the temple, and you already know what I did. When got them buildings and everything, and they accused me of trying to take over the temple. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Cowardly to speak to my face.
Hold up, say that again, Todd. This is what they do. What he just said is they too cowardly to say something to your face. And this is why I said I wanted people to share this out, because I want people to ask us these questions that have a problem with you or I.
Just for a matter of fact, just because for context, there's another person speaking behind the camera and going to get some camera time. Sabir Bey, he'll go on and say anybody that wants, they can come on live. You know, I don't feel like getting too much into it, but I did a video, came on his, went on his live, went on his live and spoke and attempted to speak with him and answer his questions and call into account Taj directly to his face, like he's saying here in plenty of other videos. And he went on to cut me off and try to deflect and, go about BSing his way around the answer. It's a waste of time. So I just wanted to give you that context so that you understand this is the same. This is part of the rhetoric. It's part of the scam. In fact, Sabir Bey is one of the people that was involved in the lecture series part of the scam with Taj Tarik Bey. He almost kind of was like the front man, the money man. You know what I mean? He was the one booking the shows and the Sabir Bey production and all of that. But I ain't want to get too much into that. I want to focus on Taj Tarik Bey just because he is at the top. He is the King Moorish scammer. All right, the Moorish scamming king. He is the creme de la creme of the Moorish scammers. And so we're going to address that. All right.
Or Abdullah, or even.
But if Sabir Bey is watching, come on down, good brother. Come on down. And if Taj Tarik Bey is watching, come on down. I doubt they will, but just wanted to put that open invitation.
RV Bey.
See, this is really what's up. I learned a long time, and
come on, man, you keep posting this. I'm keep taking this out the way, man. This is product placement.
It has really much to do, as you know, Adam, with you being my son, and from even when you were little. It is me coming out of my own naivety. The many roads that I've traveled and finding that, because I used to think a lot of times when people used to do some of those things that they didn't understand, and life teaches you some things. Then it took a while, but I lost my naivety. And I recognized what many of us don't want to acknowledge. And that is just like Jawali said, dirty Moors.
Yes, sir.
You know, and when you entertain them, they're like vampires. They draw energy. There's so much work to be done for helping our people. That if you allow your ego to get in, you'll be constantly responding, trying to defend that which cannot be defended. Meaning that when this is two things. When you're dealing with a COINTELPRO, they're not dealing with principle.
Right.
So if you're approaching them with principle and reason and fairness, you're actually giving them fuel because that's not their motive.
Right. They just
Their motive is schism, and their motive is to slow things down. As an example, this, like what I was showing you earlier, this is with her handwriting, the diplomat of peace from Honduras. So they came up to see me. They actually came up.
Hold up. Here go Taj. Here go some questions real quick. I'm gonna cut you. It says Chicago Moors saying stay away from Taj. Something that he is sick or something like that. So here you should share this. Hold up. I don't even know what these numbers is because there's people on here. I want you to share. Listen to me. I want y'all to share this to them. Let them know that we on here now because we can answer any of y'all questions. Like Todd said, he say COINTEL. Like I will call them punks behind the keyboard.
Those people in the temple and for them to disband. Some of them took it, and guess
Get in the crates.
your nationality card when Drew Ali was on the scene looked like this. If they loved the prophet so much, they would have kept what he had going on. Plus, again, what CM Bey did, he preserved the work. He preserved the prophet's Adab chamber work. And like I had told y'all in an old radio interview that Brother Sabir blessed me to let me talk to y'all.
Just for context, this person is alleged to be Taj Tarik Bey's son. I honestly don't even want to address this part. What I will say is he's bringing up CM Bey. CM Bey is another person who created an offshoot organization that was not doing what Noble Drew Ali created the Moorish Science Temple of America for, only causing more confusion. In fact, he created this document, which is called the Zodiac, CM Bey, just to be clear. CM Bey created what is called the Zodiac Constitution. And I don't even, that just takes me too far off on a tangent. I only bring that up to say that this guy and Taj Tarik Bey mentioned CM Bey and the Zodiac Constitution, and all of that is bogus also, just so that we're clear. Oh, wasn't to do Hickey. Wasn't to do Hickey. But let me get back. We about to get to matter of fact, I had a time. I want to say it was at 7 minutes. I'm gonna just let it run. I know at 10 minutes we definitely gonna get where I need to be talking.
The people that were in part of Noble Drew Ali's Adab chamber. Remember, there's all Adab chambers, all the different ones around the country. But those, the one, the radio interview or not, you're gonna hear it. The key people were Elijah Poole Bey, is Elijah, millionaires off the knowledge that Drew Ali gave them. CM Bey was the only one that didn't sell you out. He read it, but y'all don't fight the right fight. How come Nakeem Bey is still breathing? He took your certificate. The knowledge that Drew Ali.
The one thing I did want to mention, if you listen here, I'll let it play again. He says, how come Nakeem, somebody Bey, how come such and such is still breathing? That is like a inferred threat, or like, you know what I mean? It's a question to suggest some sort of harm, which is Looney Tunes. All right. If you hear people talking like that, this a PSA. If you hear anybody talking like that, Moors, don't matter what group you in, if they talking like that, I'm warning you, I'm telling you, get away from them. I as fast as you can. They're not right in the mind.
Ali gave them. CM Bey was the only one that didn't sell you out. He registered your Zodiac Constitution and your certificate you get from the Library of Congress. And like I keep saying, y'all keep going after Sabir and my dad, but y'all don't fight the right fight. How come Nakeem Bey is still breathing? He took your certificates off the Library of Congress. You're supposed to get this a part of your nationality. The CM Bey registered in 47. Now, you talking that crap.
Crazy. All right.
In Chicago, brothers, if we're reading the same thing what the prophet is doing, you shouldn't have no problem. Y'all talking that crap because, again, this is no different than what we were dealing with in the early 90s. You were pissed because we were giving the heavy knowledge, but the prophet.
This is part of the scam. Noble Drew Ali didn't give any heavy knowledge of us, telling us that no officials have jurisdiction, that you can take property, that you can drive without a license. None of that nonsense that Taj teaches. None of it. Or that this guy teaches. Or that CM Bey teaches. None of that came from Noble Drew Ali. The consular courts, they enforce the Constitution, BS, delegation of authority order, oath of office, Article 3 courts, all of those phrases that you hear Taj saying all the time, bogus. Didn't come from Noble Drew Ali. It came from Taj. It's part of the scam. Understand that.
Told you. He said, when I come back, first place I'm coming to clean up the temples. And it's going to be Moors. It's going to put you old Moors in the back.
Out of temple and be more, plus reminding me of church.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, remind you of church.
Course. But it's, see, again, part of the sellout. But again, this is what we were dealing with. We were giving y'all heavy stuff. This is your Great Seal ID. Iggis was coming in talking about, yeah, the taxes. No, it's not.
A Great Seal ID. Boom. I'm glad I watched this. See, I didn't even realize that part of the scam. See, oh, praise God. See what he told on himself. Part of Taj's scam, he had a Great Seal ID. I don't know how much those was costing, but work that into the budget. So you got the Great Seal ID scam. You got the RV Bey publication ID scam. You got the RV Bey publication sealing of the document. You put your seal on it. You got the lectures. You got the audio books. You got the physical books. You got probably some consultations. You got the packages. You got the paperwork. Do you see how many scams, how many scamming streams Taj has operated? And multiple different organizations. Great Seal, Moore's Order of the Round Table, RV Bey Publication, House of Reawakening Minds, Enforce the Constitution, Moorish American Consulate, Rise of the Moors. Am I missing any? I done lost count. But do you are we clear? Are we clear? Let me finish because you're about to get to the part that I meant to get to anyway.
Nah, it's your Great Seal Association of Moors Association ID. And us Moors, when we were really active and had everything on point, we could go to regular entities out here and we would purchase our stuff tax exempt because that's your birthright. Your ancestors made sure they put it in the Constitution. It's in parentheses, Indian 3/5 persons not taxed. But that's another story, another time. But let me keep going to these Chicago brothers. You ain't no real brothers because you would have
slipped up and see it was the mission, the slick, the using that scam to try to get out of paying taxes, tax exempt. Another part of that sovereign citizen ideology. Do you see? Are we clear? If you're Taj Tarik Bey supporter, you're Taj Tarik Bey follower, and it's not clear, come on the live. Come holler at us. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk what's not clear. What's incorrect about what's being said? What am I saying is incorrect? What am I saying is not true? You're hearing it from his son. Telling the whole operation. But see, that's anyways.
You would have preserved Prophet Drew Ali's work. If you loved him so much, how come when the prophet died, y'all had no problem throwing his furniture out in the street? Talking that mess.
In the Moorish literature, In the Moorish literature, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, "Our press is the most powerful weapon in the hand of our group today. With these people who claim to be grand sheiks and governors, etc., where's the Prophet's press since they had direct hands on it? And how did it end up in the junkyard? And why has it not been reestablished?"
Did everybody hear that? Did everybody hear that? I'm going to rewind it one more time just so we can hear. It's funny how you can listen, man. You got to pay attention. Listen carefully to what Taj says.
Our press is the most powerful weapon in the hand of our group today. With these people who claim to be grand sheiks and governors, etc., where's the Prophet's press since they had direct hands on it? And how
Taj Tarik Bey made the statement that our press is the most powerful weapon in our hands. And he said, following that, to all the people that are calling themselves grand sheiks, where is the Prophet's press today? So I got a question. I got a question for someone that's a grand sheik, allegedly, Taj Tarik Bey. Where is the Prophet's press? Quote unquote, grand sheik Taj Tarik Bey. Are you exempt from that? Do you not hold yourself accountable? What excuse are you giving the followers? Matter of fact, put Taj to the side. Followers of Taj Tarik Bey, supporters of Taj Tarik Bey. He claims he's a grand sheik, and he's saying to all the grand sheiks, where's the Prophet's press? That would include Taj Tarik Bey. So what is Taj Tarik Bey doing to correct or to reestablish or to make sure the Prophet's press is functioning? Let me drop the link in there so people can talk to me. It's real silent. I'm gonna pause for a second. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I want talk to me. Help me out now. Taj Tarik Bey followers, where's Noble Drew Ali's press? What is Taj Tarik Bey doing to reestablish Noble Drew Ali's press? Let me make sure I emphasize that. Not Taj Tarik Bey's press, not the Great Seal Inc.'s press, not RV Bey Publications press, not Rise of the Moors, not Enforce the Constitution, not House of the Reawakening Minds press, not Moors of the Order of the Round Table press, not Moorish or Mexim press. Oh, I see it. I see one. I see an answer. I see an answer. He has the publication. I'm not talking about Taj Tarik Bey's publication. I'm talking about Noble Drew Ali's press. Good brother. That's what Taj said. What is Taj doing? Because he said Grand Sheik should be making sure that that's maintained. So why isn't he maintaining it? He claims to be a Grand Sheik. Yes. Since everybody's slow with the answer, seems like Taj Tarik Bey followers like the words is just stuck. So let me explain it to you. He's not doing it because he's not a Grand Sheik. He's not doing it because he's not following and doing what the Prophet asked. Taj Tarik Bey is doing what Taj Tarik Bey wants to do. He's creating his own organization with his own schemes and his own scams and his own ideology. That's what it is. That's why nobody can answer. Let me continue. Are we clear? Are we clear?
Where's the press? End up in the junkyard, and why has it not been reestablished?
Thank you.
On another point,
bookstores,
in all of your certifications for sheiks and sheikesses, on their certification to the ministry says hedges in the highways. Why do they create little clubs and
okay, hold on. I don't even want to get to what he's talking about, what they're doing. He's talking about if you're a sheik, there's a certification that comes with that. I got a question. Where's Taj Tarik Bey's Grand Sheik certification? Just a question. I'll wait for a second. Y'all let me know. Is it on RV Bay publication? Just put the link in the chat. Put the link in the chat. Let me know where it is. Where can we verify that Taj Tarik Bey is a Grand Sheik since the certification? It's kind of like a doctor. They'll have their degree on the back of their wall, or like a barber, they'll have their license on the wall so that you know they're a licensed barber. You know what I'm saying? To let you know that they're a legitimate barber or a legitimate doctor, for example. So where's Taj Tarik Bey's Grand Sheik certification? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Come on, Taj Tarik Bey followers. You got so many things to say in the comment sections after I'm off the live. Talk to me now. It's quiet, huh? You know why you haven't seen any certification from Taj? Because there is none. Because he's not a Grand Sheik. Because he's a liar, a fraud. He's scamming you. He's scamming and lying to people, and has been for 40 years. Are we clear? Let me continue.
Deny other Moorish Americans from other orders because they do not recognize nationality. They recognize clubism. Noble Ali taught nationality. He
Thank
said,
you.
"Come all ye Asiatics of North America." He didn't say club members, and he didn't say some members. As a matter of fact, in the Prophet's newspaper, Moorish Guide, he even had columns for other people that were working on humanitarian movements, whether they were in the temples or not. And as a matter of fact, Noble Ali made an appeal to all true American citizens to help in the great missionary work of uplifting our people. And the Prophet also said, the world recognizes you by your attachment to the Moorish divine and national movement, of which the temple is a part. Now, the other deal is, one of the reasons why I was even inspired to found the Roundtable in 1982 AD was because of the consistent opposition I got from persons in positions of authority that I thought really loved the Prophet Noble Ali. And I decided not to submit myself under their jurisdiction with obvious corruption, particularly when they started attacking my sisters.
I don't think y'all heard that, but this is the part I've really been waiting on. This is him speaking out his own mouth, letting the people know he created his own organization, the Moors Order of the Round Table, back in 1982. Again, this is before I was alive. That's how long he been scamming. Are we clear? I'm going to rewind it because he mentions the year and then he mentions why he did it. I want you to listen very closely. We're going to break it down. Taj Tarik Bey supporters, I'm going to drop the link. You want to talk? Come on live. Let's talk about it. What a scammer.
Of which the temple is a part. Now, the other deal is, one of the reasons why I was even inspired to found the Roundtable in 1982 AD was because of the consistent opposition I got from persons in positions of authority that I thought really loved the Prophet Noble Ali.
So he's saying he started his own organization because he received opposition from people in places of authority that he thought loved Noble Ali. But let's continue. Let's listen very closely.
And I decided not to submit myself under their jurisdiction with obvious corruption.
All right. He's saying because he received some opposition from the people in authority within the Moorish Science Temple of America. And what was the other thing that he said? Let me see. I forgot what I said.
Not to submit myself under their jurisdiction.
That he wasn't going to submit himself under their jurisdiction. What is he talking about? What does that mean? Taj Tarik Bey is saying in the Moorish Science Temple of America, he was trying to do things, at least that's what he's alleging. He was trying to do things in the organization back in 1982. He was getting pushback. So he said, I don't want to follow the rules and the guidelines of this organization. So I'm gonna leave and create my own organization. This is what he did. He didn't, and then he goes on to say obvious corruption. Let me listen.
With obvious corruption, particularly when they start attacking my sisters. Yeah.
All right, got a couple questions. He wouldn't submit to their jurisdiction. He wouldn't respect the rules and the guidelines and the laws of the organization. So he wanted to create his own. And he said, due to quote unquote obvious corruption. Question: what is the corruption? If it's so obvious, break it down to me. Let me know. Who were the people that were corrupt, Taj? Did he ever say who those people were? Another question: what did you do to fix the corruption? You just let it to continue to be corrupt and create your own thing? Oh, how noble of you. How noble of you.
We have all our family up
now, as my son will tell you, I've been teaching and sharing information before I came into temple. I'm not doing anything I wasn't doing before I came into the temple. I think a lot of people get upset because I'm not a follower mentality. I don't do what you call parroting. I do research.
You know what I say about that?
And also the prophet said the half has not been told. If I told you everything, you would go back to sleep.
Hold up. Stop right there. Now, what you just said, if I told you half, you would go back to sleep.
The prophet Noble Dwali said the half has not been told.
And told. Now let me share something with you.
Everything you would
go back to sleep. Now this,
I've heard Taj and other people echo that quote over and over again, and they say that to get you to believe, oh, they know the other half. See, like, oh, y'all don't know because he said the half has not been told. But see, I know the other half. Who told you? Huh? What makes you so special that you found out the other half that the prophet said that other half hasn't been told? So it wasn't told and they waited just to tell Taj? Come on, man. Let's cut it out. It's bogus. It's bogus. But what it is, that's part of the scam. Let me break that down. It's Taj taking bits and pieces of what Noble Drew Ali said and mixing it in to get you to believe that what he's saying is real, what he's saying is legitimate. And we're going to get to the perfect example of that in just a little bit. All right. We're gonna pull that video up in just a little bit. I wanted to double check, make sure it's a little bit more on this video I wanted to highlight, then we're gonna move on.
Somebody just said Sabir refuses to talk about something about the Moors internationally. Y'all want me to give y'all everything. You're not even on the level of getting the simple things. And this is what we're doing here. When I'm doing videos, people, anybody who knows me, who sat with me, know that I will give you everything. The problem is I'm not going to give you everything on here because you would not. Some people take this information and charge people $3,000 to $4,000 or $5,000 for this, or they're trying to get out of child support, or they're trying to get out of tax issues, or they're trying to get out of parking tickets. That's why I'm not saying things. Once I see you start buying books and you're doing research, then I will happily assist you. Happily.
This is what they were coming for.
This is what, hold up. Show them again. This is what they was coming for.
This is what y'all was coming for.
This is what they was coming for. They were coming for this type of stuff.
You heard the Moors, that was your Moors diplomats or whatever. Like the father he is the Emir. He is the highest official here. The other Emir.
That is what I was waiting on. Taj Tarik Bey's son said, as he's pulling out the license plate to get you in and reel you in as part of that driver's license you don't need is scam. All right. He makes an outrageous claim. I'm gonna rewind it so you can hear it again. He says something about Taj. Did you catch it? Let's listen.
Honors. You
They
was
were
coming
coming for
Moorish
this type of
honors. You
stuff.
heard the Moors, that was your Moorish diplomats or whatever. Like the father he is the Emir. He is
Do
the
you see
highest
this?
official here. The other Emir, God rest his soul, his grace,
One more time.
Moorish diplomats or whatever. Like the father he is the Emir. He is
Do
the
you see
highest
this?
official here. The other Emir, God rest his soul, his grace, Rami, you.
Ironically, they're speaking about Rami of Rami Yusuf Bey. No relation, just happen to have the same name. But he says, Taj Tarik Bey's son says that Taj Tarik Bey is the Emir. He's the highest official here. That's a statement. That's a claim. Now, mind you, Taj Tarik Bey has been called a master teacher. Taj Tarik Bey has identified himself as a grand sheikh, a national grand sheikh. He's also identified himself as a minister. He's also identified himself as a consular general. Okay. But I wanted to focus on this phrase, Emir, because I thought, what? Who made him an Emir? Do you know what an Emir is? You don't. Well, I'm glad you let me know. Can we learn together? All right, let's do it. Let's do it together, shall we? Let's look into the word, shall we? Come on, Taj Tarik Bey followers. Don't we always go to the etymological? Hey, Asim, come on up. Come on up, good brother. Now's the opportunity. If you defend Taj, now is the opportunity. Step up. Talk to this so-called agent Rami and set him in his place. Okay? Okay. We got it. Can we see it? Are we clear? Let me zoom in, make sure that we can see it, okay? I want to make sure that we can see this nice and clear so everybody can understand, okay? I want to make sure we're clear. Again, Taj Tarik Bey's son claimed that Taj Tarik Bey is an Emir, the quote-unquote highest official, okay? Emir. I went to Google. You can look it up yourself. Define Emir, okay? And it has it there for you. Some people spell it with an A. You can spell it with an E, all right? Emir. All right, are we reading together, Morris? Are we clear? Okay, it says a title of various Muslim, mainly Arab, rulers. Okay, I got a question. Now. Taj Tarik Bey followers. Is Taj Tarik Bey a Muslim ruler? Just a question. Is Taj Tarik Bey a Muslim ruler? Yes or no? Just let me know. I mean, that's what his son claimed, is that he's an Emir. I just want to know from the people. Do you have evidence that Taj Tarik Bey is a Muslim ruler? No? I don't see anybody giving the evidence. So let's go down to the other one. Historical, a Muslim, again, a Muslim, okay. A military commander or local chief. I got two more questions for you. Number one, is Taj Tarik Bey a military commander? A Muslim military commander? Anybody? Bueller? Is Taj Tarik Bey a military commander? Asim? Mizraim? RV Bey, are you there? Enforce the Constitution, are you there? Moore's Order of the Round Table, hello? No, he's not a military commander. Taj Tarik Bey is not a military commander. Taj Tarik Bey is not a Muslim ruler. Taj Tarik Bey is not a local chief. I bring that all to a point to say Taj Tarik Bey is not an emir or a grand sheikh or a consul general or a what was the other title, or a minister or a master teacher. Taj Tarik Bey is a fraud, a liar. He's scamming you, okay? Understand that. Sit with that for a minute. It's the truth. I know it may sting, but it's the truth. Peace, 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 peace. Let me pause real quick before I get to the last video. I wanted to highlight one more video. What was the video? Out in the streets. That's what it was. Oh shoot. I should have got the dang. I did. I took the screenshot, but I didn't write down the number. I think it may have been 7 minutes. So we're gonna try this one. We're gonna try this one for a second. I think I know the mark. Yeah, I think it was about that. So we're gonna it's on the commercial, so I just don't want to load it up. But before I get to the video, I'm gonna check the comments real quick, answer any questions, because I don't see any Taj Tarik Bey supporters wanting to come on live, and I wonder why is that. You know what I mean? I oftentimes wonder, why is it that so many of these Taj Tarik followers and believers and worshipers, why is it that they come in the comment section and say Rami's an agent, Rami is this, Rami is that, but when I provide a space and I say, please come on to the live, let's have a discussion. Stop, son. Stop. Just back up, man. You're interrupted, man. Reaching across the table. You getting my focus. My son right there. But my point was, when I'm live and I have the space, they never show up. Soon as I end the stream, it's ridiculous. But let me get to the questions real quick. They're scared. I feel you. My 11-year-old son, good brother, said they're scared. Think you may be right, son. I think you may be right. Let me get these comments. Peace. Man, golly, it's a whole lot of people in here. All right. Well, this actually a lot more comments than I thought. So let me finish the video first, and then I get to the comments, because then I don't want to lose track. But I see the comments. We're gonna double back. Peace to everybody in the chat. If you got questions and you say, you know what? Yeah, I got a question, but I don't want to come on the screen. I just want to put it out there. That's cool too. Put it in the chat. You know what I mean? And I'll talk about it that way. If you just, you know what I mean, you're not a Taj Tarik Bey supporter, you from the sidelines. You know what I mean? You ain't in the field. You just want to, hey, I got a question. Put in the comment. We'll get to it like that. But again, Taj Tarik Bey supporters, after this, don't be saying, oh, you would have, I would have. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot, it was playing wide. My fault, y'all. Let me rewind it. Okay, here we go. Let's get it right. Let me get it right. Zoom him in. Make sure we got it right. Get him on screen. I make a lot of sense. I appreciate that, man. I'm not trying to talk over anybody's head. I'm not trying to make it too complicated. I'm making it plain. You know what I mean? And I had previous videos that explain why I'm speaking about Taj specifically and this, that, and the third. But again, it's because this dude has been scamming, misleading, and getting folks injured, their houses taken, arrested, some people killed, all for profit. All so he could fatten his pockets. Not to help uplift humanity, not to do the work that Noble Drew Ali said to do, not to help Moors, to get money, to get to the bag. That's what Taj Tarik Bey is about. Let me continue.
And Russia's going to help us eventually. That's why they're killing all of their bonds. Because the only reason they're getting away with this crap is because of them bonds that they have against our birth certificates and marriage certificates and all this stuff. And you kind of understand it. It's sort of like their position is that they have a right under unum sanctum operations to steal everybody's sovereignty. This is what they're calling racism. Racism for short.
It may be a little difficult to hear. I try to turn it up as much as I can, but when it gets to the part, I'm gonna rewind it and then I'll make sure that I type in the chat and express clearly what he said, because it is the clearest example I feel of the scam currently. This led to so many other scams going on, and we'll get to that, but let me continue.
Unum sanctum policy. And this is where and why they're arrogant and why they're doing what they're doing. But it's also important, and this is back to where it's important for everybody who understands this things to recognize, like Raleigh said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution, because that's our covenant with the Europeans operating on our land. So,
there you go, right there. I don't know if you caught it right there. He says it real quick. I'm going to repeat it a few times. I just want y'all to listen, all right? Then I'm going to type it in the chat.
Everybody who understands this things to recognize, like Raleigh said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution, because that's our covenant with the Europeans operating on our land. So, back to where it's important for everybody who understands this things to recognize, like Raleigh said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution, because that's our covenant with the Europeans operating on our land. So the Europeans are claiming to be Americans. They're not Americans. They're Europeans.
I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm going
to... But they're obligated by treaty. Now, this is why when Obama went to Egypt, he exposed that for everybody who understands this things to recognize, like Raleigh said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution, because that's our covenant with the Europeans operating on our land. So the Europeans are claiming to be Americans. They're not Americans. They're Europeans. They're still in the birthright, but they're...
Okay, so in case you didn't hear it, it's not, you can't really hear because you hear the police monitor going on also. But Taj Tarik Bey says, like Noble Drew Ali said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. That is our covenant with the Europeans operating on our land. That's Taj Tarik Bey's statement. I'm going to repeat it one more time. And this is what he said on the video. It's hard to hear, but if you play it and you listen closely, he says, Noble Drew Ali says. So just right off the top, he's saying that he's quoting Noble Drew Ali, all right? And he's quoting Noble Drew Ali as to have said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. That's one part. The second part is, that is our covenant with the Europeans operating on our land. Got a question. Question number one. Did Noble Drew Ali say, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution? Yes or no? Did Noble Drew Ali say, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution? Come on, Morris. Research, right? Come on now. Somebody step up. Where's the Taj Tarik Bey supporters? Where you at? Did Noble Drew Ali say? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. Okay. Jonathan Scott Bey. Again. Back again. Jonathan Scott Bey puts it on the line. Would you care to come on the live and discuss it, Jonathan Scott Bey? I would love to see and speak to you. Seems like you may be a little timid, maybe a little nervous, and that's okay. But Jonathan Scott Bey agrees with Taj Tarik Bey that Noble Drew Ali said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. Anybody else? Anybody else? I just want to know. Anybody else? Did Noble Drew Ali say it? Yes or no? Got the quote. Got the quote. Highlighted. All right. All right. We got two. Smoke Divine. Anybody? Do we have a third? Did Noble Drew Ali say? It's very clear. The statement is very simple. Yes or no? Do you agree? Jonathan Scott Bey said yes. Noble Drew Ali did say, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. This is the quote. Not an interpretation, not what you thought he meant. The quote, as what Taj Tarik Bey said Noble Drew Ali said. Taj Tarik Bey quoted Noble Drew Ali on the street in a traffic stop saying that Noble Drew Ali said, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. Did Noble Drew Ali say it? Yes or no? Why is it so hard for people to speak up? Where the Taj Tarik Bey supporters at? Let's get to the facts. Not what you feel about it, Jonathan Scott Bey. Not what you feel about it, Smoke Divine. Let's get to the facts, shall we? Let's get to the facts, huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks like Rami came prepared today, huh? Let me zoom up right there. Go ahead and read that, Jonathan Scott Bey. What does that say? This is from Noble Drew Ali, all right? Matter of fact, I'll zoom up so you can see where this is coming from. This is Moorish literature. This is a speech or an excerpt or a letter or, you know what I mean? It's called A Divine Warning by the Prophet for the Nations. He says many things. But here in the third paragraph down, okay, it has a section. And Noble Drew Ali states, I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work because I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. So the fact is, as you see here, Noble Drew Ali did not say, help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. Taj Tarik Bey lied. Yes, it wasn't a mistake. He didn't misunderstand. He lied. He said Noble Drew Ali said something that he did not say. Why did Taj do that? To help with his scam, Jonathan Scott Bey. Do you understand, Jonathan Scott Bey? He did not say enforce the Constitution. Help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution. Nor did Noble Drew Ali say it's our covenant with Europeans operating on our land. Not once, Jonathan Scott Bey. And anybody else that echoes, matter of fact, let me hold on for a second. Let me pause right here for a second. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you, good brother. I didn't see you there. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, yes, sir. Now are we clear, Jonathan Scott Bey?
Islamism. I must have missed some of the stuff you were saying, Mo. I wanted to make sure I had my head right before I got on here.
All right. Well, let me rewind it. Taj Tarik Bey alleged Grand Sheik,
Yeah.
stated in the public in a traffic stop, Noble Drew
Yes.
Ali said, "Help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution." I asked, did Noble Drew Ali say that? Yes or no? You responded yes. I pulled up
Yes.
the literature, the specific quote from Noble Drew Ali, which doesn't. Hold on one second, just so we
Okay. I
fair.
see where you getting. I see
Hold
where you're
on,
going here.
just so
Good.
we fair. Noble Drew Ali does not say, "Help me in my mission to enforce the Constitution." In fact, he says, "I'm hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution." So he's not saying for Moors to enforce the Constitution. He's saying all true citizens that stand for the enforcement of the Constitution. So it's not even just Moors that he's speaking to. He's speaking about all true citizens. And what citizens are we speaking of? Not Moorish American citizens, not Moorish Mexican citizens, not Al Moroccan citizens, not Northwest Mexican citizens, citizens of the United States of America.
Okay. You're not wrong with that. What my issues be, and I don't have that many issues with what you be talking about when you speak about Taj, depending on certain situations and topic. I'm not a Taj Tarik or whatever people call certain people, but I do deal with the truth. And I don't throw, as he would make the statement, throw the baby out with the bathwater. I do take information if it's good, and then I do the research. I even when you say stuff, I disagree with you what you say a lot of the times. But even if I disagree with you, I'm not um I'm not pig-headed or bull-headed to not agree with the things that you say that are true and in facts. So I'll go look it up. So just like how you did and you looked it up and you read it, basically when you read this, he does speak about the enforcement of the Constitution. So when you listed all those things that Taj Tarik Bey said that the prophet might have said, that in itself,
Hold on one
that can
second, good
cause
brother. Hold on one
go ahead.
second, good brother. Not what he might have said.
Hmm.
Taj Tarik Bey said, Drew Ali said specifically,
Yes. Yes.
"Help me in my mission." I'm quoting what Taj Tarik Bey said.
I dig you.
Now,
I feel you. All right, so now look, hold up, question for you. If whenever somebody's quoting the prophet, particularly verbatim, and I was speaking to my cousin about this earlier, this particular topic, where people where people start to trip up with this is unless you have, let's say, Moorish literature in front of you to verbatimly speak and say it, sometimes you might trip up with what the wording is. Now, what you are alluding to is that he's taking the prophet's words and then he's manipulating them to use them for financial gains.
I'm not alluding. I'm saying that's exactly what has happened. And not
Okay.
only just him, he has propagated this false statement in order to continue his scam. And not only his scam, but he has progressed it and taught others and echoed the same line and the same rhetoric for their scams, such as the rise of the Moors and Jamal Bey, who also echoed that same line countless times that Moors are supposed to enforce the Constitution. Another person that he did this doing that named his entire organization, his offshoot organization, enforce the Constitution. Matter of fact, let me not say it. Let me pull it up for you. One moment, because I know man knows not by being told. This is Lamont Butler L. This is his website. And as you see right here, you see, he put the quote. You see the quote? He put the quote, and then he breaks it down, enforce the Constitution, and he didn't turn the quote into what we have to do. Created his whole organization. I'm bringing it all the way up to the top. There it is right there. And this brother has been arrested countless times.
So,
Countless.
question.
Matter of fact,
I have a question.
let me highlight one specifically so we can see the connection between him and Taj. Just so it's not, well, what does that have nothing to do with Taj? Hold on, hold on, hold on. They got classes, but here it is. Taj Tarik Bey's paperwork, 2011. What he has on the website. And I want to scroll down just so we can see something. It has his case and his information and different schemes, okay? But I wanted to highlight this is what happens. Can everybody see that right there? This is Lamont Butler when he tried one of the schemes from Taj Tarik Bey. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. You confusing me, man. You confusing me, dog. You gotta sit down, man. You got me confused, huh? I'm trying to teach the people, man. Here we go. You see right here, Moorish American charged with trying to take over vacant mansion. Where did he get that idea from? You know, and I know, good brother, Taj Tarik Bey, the king of the Moorish scammers, the creme de la creme, the top of the top.
I would say this. I would say this. Look, you kind of good with the. I don't know. Sometimes you elegant with the troll, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it legit, right? Because I guess sometimes we can get lost in the sauce, and it's good that you bring in a different light to this because I guess people need to actually do the research and read because that's what it's basically about. Instead of taking people's word for it and going to read, but the prophet does allude to enforcing the Constitution or the enforcement of the Constitution another time also in the same writing, and I'm sure you read that as well, right? When he speaks about if the Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon
Yes.
all other American citizens. But there you go
Question.
again, that the
Question.
law
Hold
should
on.
be enforced.
The law should be enforced. Who should be enforcing them?
All American citizens, all true American citizens.
Now, specifically in the Constitution, it speaks, and I'm talking about the Constitution for the United States of America, it
Yes.
speaks on who should do the enforcing of the laws. Did you know that?
Yes, but okay.
Who does
See,
it
this
say?
is hold up. You represented you supposed to utilize your representatives too. All right. Now, this is the issue because the divine warning in itself is also speaking about voting, right? The ballot, you know what I mean? The free national ballot and those things, right? See, us as Moorish Americans, you get a lot of Moors, they don't they don't they don't they don't agree with voting, right? See, but if you don't look at
It's
the
not about agreement. This is what Taj
some of
Tarik.
them don't believe. See, some of them don't believe in voting.
So you're saying that they don't believe in what Noble Drew Ali had for us.
I'm saying yes because
Right,
that's obvious. That's obvious.
right. And Taj Tarik Bey is one of those people.
I will agree with that too because I will agree. I don't disagree.
And my point is simply let's stop following Taj Tarik Bey and all of the other organizations and groups and people who are not following and doing what Noble Drew Ali said. And let's
I
get back
agree.
to what Noble Drew Ali said.
So this is a question that needs to be asked as well. All right. Now, the interesting part that most people talk about Taj Tarik Bey, and one of the reasons why is Taj Tarik Bey has most of the people that claim to be Moors that follow him. If you go on Taj Tarik Bey on Friday, he have at least 1,000 people on his lives
He's been
listening
scamming
to
for quite a
whatever
long
it
time.
is.
He's been scamming. He's
Yes.
been at this for longer than I've been alive, just to remind you. So
No,
he's
facts.
he's
We're about the same age. So
he's the
I know I go on the temple, it'd be like 12. The most people maybe 20 on the
right.
same at the same time. So I mean the information that's being passed along, as I was talking to my cousin earlier about that one thing that Taj Tarik Bey don't do is he doesn't open up the Holy Quran and read from scriptures of the Holy Quran and be like, yo, this is what this is based upon. You'll have him speak some things and it'll be it's not even verbatim for what the prophet says. And then he'll take that and then he add his spices, his original spices to it as well. And that's where the confusion comes into play.
That's
But without
that's
but we also have to agree with this. Without Taj Tarik Bey, right? A lot of us wouldn't even have been drawn to the movement because we didn't see it because it wasn't being put out there. Even your early videos, you had agreements with some of the things. And one things I do agree with and respect about you, you learned and you did research and you're honest enough to say, yo, I did, and now I disagree and I did the research and this is what I found out. So I respect you for that, my brother.
and I've heard, I appreciate it, and I've heard people say, well, we got to give credit because without Taj, most of the people wouldn't know about Noble Drew Ali in this movement. I disagree. I think without
Well,
Taj, most people would not have been misled in regards to this movement. Most people would have not have been injured in this movement. Our movement would not be looked at as some cult group or some sovereign citizen group if Taj Tarik Bey didn't mislead people. If we just listened to Noble Drew Ali, I think we would be doing just fine. That's how
well, how
I
about
feel.
this? If it wasn't for if C. Kurtman Bay didn't come in and a couple of people come in and cause confusion back then we wouldn't have the fractions of the movement. So it wouldn't even have been in disarray to be at this point in time. But Allah guides the movement, and therefore Allah guided us to be at this point. And now it's up to us to pick up the pieces. Pick up
So
the
on this
pieces.
last question, I'll ask you this because I appreciate. Let's get to solutions. What is the solution? How do we get rid of the confusion? Who should Moors listen to?
That's a good question. One thing I would say is Moors have to listen to Noble Drew Ali. Any information that we have of the prophets, we have to put that to the forefront, which is we have to stand on the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, the Moorish Questionnaire. We have to stand on these. These are our basic foundations to the building. And then any Moorish literature that is written by the prophet, we have to stand on it and follow the directions and what the prophet laid for us to do. That's not hard. The issue comes into place is the leadership. And you spoke on this many of times. You have many different people talking about the Supreme Grand Council. Which Supreme Grand Council? Who is in the place of the Supreme Grand Council? What about the regular Grand Sheiks? How does the Moorish Science Temple of America work? How does voting work? It's a whole list of things that we have to actually stand on and fix, which I think that that's the issue. For real, it's the basics. It really is. So until we all start to come together and do that, or at least just in groups. Yeah, I had plans on coming out there and visit you when I was driving truck. Whenever I hit the bay. You know what I mean? So I was gonna build with you. I got a couple of brothers that we actually do this. We do the research and we check each other. Cause I mean, the only way to really truly check yourself each other is with this.
And on that
This is
note,
the greatest. That's the best idea.
let me just pull up one thing, just for us all to reflect on, because I appreciate that statement. All right. Can we see it? Okay. Temple tax necessary. This is from the Moorish literature. I'll read it real quick. First paragraph. Convention votes, we're talking about voting earlier, unanimously, taxes paid monthly. Because of the fact that the expense of the operation of the temple is increasing so fast, it was found necessary to vote a tax so the prophet can carry on the work. This idea was concurred with by the Supreme Grand Council. This act is so arranged that it will not be a burden to any of the temples, but the prophet is very emphatic that it shall not be ignored. The reason I highlight that tax is being ignored, even though Noble Drew Ali was emphatic that it should not be ignored. And what's important about that tax is it's connected to Supreme Grand Council, which is connected and has a Supreme Grand Business Manager, which is where everybody's supposed to send in their records and accounting. And that's how we make sure everybody's in line. Everybody's following the proper protocol. The money is going to somebody that can be accountable. It works and operates as an organization should. That is why I have been stressing about the Supreme Grand Council since 2015. That's also why Moors don't want to address the Supreme Grand Council, because it holds everyone accountable. Not me, not just me, not Taj. It's not no favorites. We're talking about every person, every branch. They have protocols and procedures, reports that they have to file. You have to be accountable. And then we can see who has been following the prophet's laws. And we can correct it. Okay. Everybody's been in violation. Starting January 2025, this is what we're all going to do. This is the procedure. The people, the members of those temples, will be holding the grand sheiks accountable. They pass it forward to the grand governors, the Supreme Grand Council, and it all operates. And that is actually teaching us government the same way it works on the local, the state, and the local, the city, the state, and the nation, and the federal. It's the same process. That's how we're supposed to learn how to be better American citizens. Not creating our own nation, not being some sovereign nation, and we don't have to submit to jurisdiction. None of that nonsense. By just following and doing what Noble Dryly asked us to do.
That's a fact. But I would also say this, which this in addition to that, the confusion comes into play is all members don't have all the information or don't have, I would almost say, enough information, because the information that I got, it took me a bunch of years to even get this information. I had to go through many different Moorish Science Temple of America's offshoots to even get the Moorish literature to be able to read this. Before I read that, my what I got information on was from YouTube and whoever was speaking on it. But when I got things that was written by the prophet, that should be given to everybody so they can say, you know what, this person ain't doing what the prophet is saying to do. Why aren't they doing it? And the question after that is, if you are official, then how can I check you when you're not doing your job? How do I remove you? How do I put the right people in place? We don't even know that.
You
That's
know
the
who,
problem.
and again, we go back to who can clarify that? Supreme Grand Council, that's why I haven't moved from that position since I found out about it and since I understood the importance of it.
So
That's
what do you
why
so do you believe that the Supreme Grand Council now is put into place, or do you believe that we need to put the Supreme Grand Council in
there is
place
no
as we speak?
Supreme Grand Council.
So the Supreme Grand Councils that people are claiming, do you believe that those are invalid?
It's not a belief. I know that they're invalid.
So I mean, my brother's he has the same claim, like he stands on the same. So I I agree and I disagree with both, but
It's
because
it's
my
simple.
thought, well,
What
my
is
thought, yes, tell
hold
me.
on. What is the process to being on the Supreme Grand Council?
Well, we know that it's supposed to be
Seven men,
it's supposed to be elected by all of us, right? Yes,
7 men tried or two
true. Yes,
elected by you. Like agree. The thing is that there's supposed to be people that select the 7.
yes,
Those 7 are supposed to be confirmed by the grand body. The grand
yes.
body is a collection of all of the sheiks, assistant sheiks from all of the temples. Sort
Grand
of like,
governors, anybody with grand in, yes.
and so the people, our representative would be the person that we have as officials, and they would speak on the will of the people as the grand body. The grand body would confirm those people that they select. Thus, everybody is in on the selection of that. And those people would be known to everybody, not just the grand body, but to the members as well. It wouldn't be a secret. It's like
All right.
saying that the Supreme Court justices, you can't know who they are. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, my cousin would say the same thing. So, all right, look, question. Right now, the Supreme Grand Council, which at least my research would say this. Well, some people make this statement and claim after Supreme Grand Sheikh Mediel passed form, right? Um, that the Supreme Grand Sheikh is basically the Grand Sheikh and the Supreme Grand Sheikh chairs are the same. This is what was told to me. After that, for a fact, let's say all the way up to the research would say P. Davis ill, um, Bailey ill, and a Braswell Bay, when all of them came together, that's when the Supreme Grand Council, as we know it in these days and times, came into play. And then after that, we get offshoots of the Supreme Grand Council. Those people that claim to be the Supreme Grand Heads of the Supreme Grand Council, those are the people that need to come out and they need to make statements and clarify this. That's their job.
They don't even have to make a statement. All they simply have to do is provide the evidence when they followed the procedure that Noble Drew Ali laid down. It's not a dispute. It's nothing to debate about. You got the records. Just show us, okay, this is when we held the meeting. This is who we selected. It was confirmed by the grand body at this time, and now they're in the seats. The problem is they know it, and I know it. They don't have that. They're all in violation. That's ultimately the truth. But it's unfortunate that they don't want to admit that. And most people don't fully understand the aspects of what this Supreme Grand Council is. So they just dismiss it as, oh, that's just what Rami is talking about. Not understanding this ain't what I set up. This is what Noble Drew Ali set up. It's not my words. This is Noble Drew Ali's words. And
so
I'm not.
Where do we stand? Where do we stand at now? What is the steps into making that a reality? Because you've been talking about this for a while. You actually opened up our minds to this to go do the research.
I appreciate the question. The same thing that I told Jamal, because he reached out and sent me an email. Jamal from the Rise of the Moors. And he's going by Jamal Flickstein. He sent me out an email and he said, I agree with your Supreme Grand Council idea. He had this whole document saying we should send this out, and if no one responds, then whoever, we should just select it and move forward and get it operational. I said, I appreciate that idea. I don't think that's correct. I think at first step, everyone needs to be informed about what the Supreme Grand Council is, what are their duties and obligations, what are their responsibilities, so everyone has a clear understanding of what this is. Then we need to come together at the convention and get it straight. Make sure that we properly follow procedures, elect 7 people, and then we go down the list of all the questions that we need clarified. And they got to get to work as the duty, the responsibility of the Supreme Grand Council to make that clear and be able to communicate that to the temples. And then we will all be on the same accord, because if we follow Jamal's idea and some people didn't respond and we just go ahead and do what we want to do, the people that didn't respond, they could say, well, I wasn't in on that, so that's not valid because I didn't make my vote. Or I missed that email. Y'all didn't give me proper due notification. I don't consider y'all valid. And we could just spin our wheels over and over and over again. So that's why, which is what I did. I sent out physical letters, stamps, and everything, printed it out. This same thing I'm telling you now. These steps, I looked up every Moor Science temple I could find, physical address, sent the letter out. The ones that I couldn't find, I found an email, sent the same letter to them. And of maybe 70 temples that I could find, somewhere around there, 60, 70 addresses, 2 people responded.
Wow.
Now, ultimately, it doesn't benefit them to respond to me because it puts everybody on notice. So if they can ignore what Rami's saying, if they can dismiss what Rami's saying, then I'm good. Which is why I keep saying to the people, I need you to ask your Grand Sheikh, your assistant, whoever it is in your temple, hey, we need to get this straightened out. Not because Rami said it, because Noble Drew Ali said it. And once the pressure is from the people, then it's not about what Rami says or what Rami's doing. It's about what we're supposed to be doing that Noble Drew Ali said. And then those people can't ignore it once the people are saying it. But as long as Rami is just echoing the Supreme Grand Council, people dismiss it. And it's, oh, well, he's just arguing with that person and that person. And that's where we are.
You know how many conventions we have, right? So I mean, if you come to one, it's maybe like 5. It's a very difficult task to do, but it's a task that's noteworthy of taking, because if we can come up together, all of us, to figure out how to get all of these people to speak to each other. And it's pretty much the members, not just let's say the officials, because the issue I see is this: if the officials, for you to get into place to be an official, it has to be a law to remove you from your seats. And if we're not honoring the laws, right, then that's a big problem. If people are supposed to be removed and they're not being removed, or people being placed in and they're not doing their jobs, they're supposed to be removed. So I mean, if we're not honoring our laws, this is what we're gonna have. It's gonna be chaotic. And it's chaotic for a reason. Because as long as we are at disarray, somebody's benefiting from the Moors not being together. Trust
And
and believe that financially.
to bring it back around, I'm gonna have to get off because I gotta make dinner with my son. And
That's
but
what I'm missing.
to bring it all the way back around, one of the people causing that confusion and one of the people making sure that it stays in disarray is Taj Tarik Bey. Why?
Uh,
Because it benefits him. He can continue to teach as a master teacher, get that lecture money, get that CD money or DVD money or streaming money. He can get the the ebook money. He can get the packages money. He can get the seal money. He can get the one-on-one consultation money. He was
you
having
think
them
he the only
thumbs
person
up.
that's doing that though? You think well, technically
It's not,
speaking,
I
I don't
think.
think.
It's not,
I
I
mean,
think.
I don't think Saj is the only person. Well, with the great
Oh,
seal, all these places, he's not in control of all of them. Correct?
oh no, good brother. He just at the top. Oh, it is a syndicate. Okay, it is a cartel. Okay, we have a detailed and strategic organization at play, and they are
Oh
finessing
man,
people left and right, backwards and forwards,
yeah,
comers
this
and
is
goings.
wild.
They hit you with the
Yeah,
assalamu alaikum and the Islam. They're gonna get you.
I've been there before. I've been there years ago, like about 2 years ago. You know, I've seen it.
See,
I've seen it.
before I started this live,
Uh,
I didn't know that Grace Seal had an ID. So that was news to
I ain't know
because
that though.
they getting lots of money, and have been for quite some time. But let me close out. I
All right,
appreciate
here's
you.
my missile.
I appreciate you at least being able to be on here and speak and be honest and admit some things that unfortunately many of us, our brothers and sisters aren't able to just be honest and be honest and admit, you know what I mean? And part of that, I believe, is yes, man.
Hi guys, hi guys.
All right, man. Come on, man. Hurry up.
Hi guys. Hi all 34 of you. Whoa, 1996. Okay.
All right, yes, thank
You should touch on it.
you. I forgot what I was saying.
You're just telling everybody bye and that you gotta wrap it up since you gotta make.
Yeah, I do gotta wrap it up, but I did want to get to these questions real quick. It's a whole lot of goodness gracious. I greatly appreciate the comments. I'm gonna slide through them real quick. God dang, Sean. Man, we gonna get through them. We gonna get through them. All right, here we go. And if you got any questions, tag them at the end. Let's get through them. All right. See what I was saying earlier. Taj runs what's it says? I'll name this later. Says Taj runs a circuit between Delaware, Maryland, VA, Pennsylvania, New York City, and New Jersey, collecting fee, talking a bunch of frivolous info. But he calls it notes. You got to donate some notes. So that way he can't say I charged you anything. You just donated. Part of the scam. Let's see. Christopher L. First of all, what made you think that he was doing the scam he was? Because I was in the mix too. I was caught up thinking, oh man, this is legitimate, and Taj is a master teacher, and yeah, see, and boom, 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 and yeah, I was hook, line, and sinker too until I asked a question. And the question I asked was, if we're not United States citizens of the United States of America, and we're claiming we're our own nation, okay? If we're not citizens of the United States of America, what is our nation called? Which nation are we citizens of? This was the question I asked. And when I asked the dude, he had like this BS answer, and I said, that don't make sense. Because I mean, it's very simple. United States of America, that's the name of the nation for US citizens. That's the citizens. So if we're Moorish Americans, let's say we're Moorish American citizens, whatever nation we are, it should have a name, right? So what's the name of the nation? Well, it's Moorish America. It's Moorish America. Well, did Noble Drew Ali say that anywhere? Because that was the response I got from somebody. Yeah, see, this is Moorish America. This is not the United States of America. I said, okay. Where did Noble Drew Ali say that this was Moorish America? And they were stuck. They were stuck. They couldn't give me an answer. And I've been in that situation before where I'll ask somebody a very direct question, and when they start ducking and dodging, and they start hiding from the answer and they don't want to answer the question, it lets me know, I need to dig a little bit deeper right there. I need to figure out what's going on. So then I said, you know what? Let me not listen to Taj. Let me not listen to this dude or that dude or some dude up in Canada that's not even. Anyways, let me start over and read every single piece of literature, every word that Noble Drew Ali said. Let me get clarity on that. And when I went back, then I said, oh, snap. He mentions the Supreme Grand Council. I said, I've never heard Taj Tarik Bey speak on this at all. And so then I asked the question, hey, what about the Supreme Grand Council? Folks got silent. Folks didn't know what I was talking about. I said, well, this is a problem. And then I went on to a call with several Grand Sheiks, okay? Alleged Grand Sheiks. And I asked them about the Supreme Grand Council, and could none of them come up with an answer. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew. I've seen some people say that, and I'm gonna finish up in a second, Cam. All right, I promise you.
Okay.
I've seen some people say Taj Tarik Bey, like this brother says here. Taj Tarik Bey didn't say Grand Sheiks. Some people will try to give the excuse that, oh, Taj Tarik Bey didn't say it. It was such and such. They just call him that, but he doesn't call himself that. So it's not really him lying. Let me just pull this up real quick. And then we're going to get through the rest of the. All right. Here we go. This is him. And not just a regular Grand Sheik, a national Grand Sheik and a divine minister. Page administration by House of Reawakening Minds on behalf of National Grand Sheik Taj Tarik Bey. So they're doing it for him. He's co-signing. He's agreeing. He's telling them, yeah, do that for me. He is calling himself a Grand Sheik, a national Grand Sheik. And he's bogus. He's lying. It's a con. I heard that too, Pedro. I heard that too. I heard that too. I'm gonna skip that question. Let's see. Here we go. You don't become a grand sheik because you have knowledge. You literally have to be a part of Noble Ali's temple. Come on, simple. And see, Taj just thinks he can use the official title of a leader for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Why does he do that? To scam people. Let's see. Let's see. Part of the Great Seal. Yeah, bogus Moorish groups. I see. Okay, here goes. I need to ask you a question. Does the title Grand Sheik only designed to the Moorish Science Temple? Yes. Yes. The title Grand Sheik is from the Moorish Science Temple of America organization, founded and created by Noble Drew Ali, not Taj Tarik Bey. And if you have people using that title in their own offshoot organization, they're doing that to fool you. They're doing that to make it appear like they are legitimate, to make it appear like they have some status, to make it appear like what they're official and what they're saying is valid. But it's not. They're liars. They're scamming you. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I see you. Yeah, I see you. Peace. Pedro says the Constitution has a 10th Amendment that allows states to enact their own laws that do not contradict federal law or the Constitution. Simple. It's how government works. Simple. Peace. Oh, snap. Y'all see that, the balloons? Let's see that one time. It's not play it.
Towards the end.
Fall back. Let me finish.
My stomach can't hold back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, Hannibal Bey. I forgot to mention his name. So the guy that claims to be Taj's son is Hannibal Bey, the alleged hypnotist, magi, and the one that claimed that Taj was an Amir. Wasn't to do, Hickey. Peace. Yeah. Tarik Bey, not to be confused with Taj Tarik Bey. We all need to get back in the temple and be the change we want to see. Yeah. The seeing Bey praise is tired. Yeah. That we Moors outside the temple is goofy. I get people that try to slander, try to attack me and call me, oh, you temple Moor, you're a temple Moor, temple Moor. And I just was like, Noble Drew Ali is a temple Moor, right? Dude went silent after that. Yeah. Seeing Bey, he didn't want to come on the live. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to talk live. He's pushing that common law sovereign citizen nonsense. Let's see. Yep, traveling is a right, driving is not. Yeah, and don't that whole I'm traveling in my conveyance is nonsense from Taj and that sovereign citizen stuff. Let's see. See, oh, here we go right here. See what happened? This man is a temple Moor. If you listen to him talk about a brother teaching lessons to Moors outside of teaching, I don't even know what that means, but is this one of the guys claiming, I'm a temple Moor? Okay. Correct. Taj is a fake and a fraud. Yeah. Hey man, I don't need the extras. I don't need the extras, dog. This dude is crazy.
Hey,
Excuse me. Yeah, that's not right. I
I'm
apologize.
crazy.
No, I was talking about somebody else, but it wasn't. That wasn't kind.
Oh, I'm just trying to say I need help.
Stop. Sit back down. See, this is that. This is the. This is yeah. But this is an example, real quick. Asim Bey. You don't have to have a license to be a barber. Go look up the word license in any law dictionary. He is behind if you saying that I have to have a license to be a barber or a doctor. You don't know anything. Okay, Asim Bey. You go be a barber without a license, Asim Bey. Matter of fact, no, you go be a doctor. I want you to do that. You be a therapist. You go be a psychiatrist or a psychologist without the degrees to support, to verify that you know what you're talking about. You go do that, man. All right, I'm almost done. Any more questions? Because once I get to the end of this, I gotta get to this dinner. I wasn't supposed to be on here for 2 hours, but it's all good. Taj has been taking people's money for a long time, man. Man. I seen a video. I just didn't feel like finding it, but I seen a video of Taj, man, with a big old pinky ring. I said, "Oh man, he just stunting on the people with their money, huh? He flexing on you, huh? He got that scamming bag and said, yeah, check me out, dog. See me shining." Right, yeah. See, that's the thing. Taj, pushed that lie and this nonsense. The Moorish Science Temple of America is not a nation. The Moorish Science Temple of America is an organization, okay? A religious organization inside the United States of America, designed to teach us about, designed to teach us about our creed or our way of life or our religion, and also the things to make us better citizens of the United States of America, to make us better American citizens, not citizens of our own nation. Okay? Please let go of the nonsense. Yeah, it's clear. It's clear that you follow, it's clear that you worship Taj Asim Bey. Is that, matter of fact, let me see. Is that the same dude? Is that same dude? It is that dude. It is that dude. That's that dude. I I don't even feel like showing the videos because it's ridiculous, but I did want to show. That name kept ringing off familiar real quick. See this Asim Bey. He's an example of somebody, and I give you the attention you're looking for. Asim, I'm an indigenous Moorish American free man. Okay. Of my ancestral homeland with the birthright to live liberty, pursuit of happiness, and all treaties enforced by my forefathers and foremothers for my projection and enjoyment at home and abroad. All of that is that nonsense. Like I would play, but he's pushing that same Taj stuff. I don't need to show you all that. My point is, that's how bad it's gotten. Taj has been scamming people for so long that he has empowered his followers and worshipers to create their own scams and their own organizations and continue the scam and continue the fraud. And then if you call out his fraud, then those people, his little minions that he didn't created is doing their own scamming. Now they come to try to defend the king scammer. Like a family of scammers, like a scamming family.
Like a mafia.
That's why they mad, Pedro. That's why they mad. They mad because I'm actually pointing out this is a lie. This person's lying. That person's lying. This is not correct. And they can't say, oh, well, see, look at what he's doing. See, he's selling packages. Well, what about him and what? I ain't doing that.
I'm only like how you told me I'm only your father. I can't control you other kids.
Yeah, but enough, man. Let me finish, man. I got it. Yeah. Oh, I find it humorous when people say you sound like an agent. What does an agent sound like? You saying somebody telling the truth sounds like an agent? Okay. I appreciate it, Wesley. Wesley Tanner. One time for the one time. I see you, Raymond. One time for the one time. I see you, Victor. What's happening? I see you. We all should be willing to support our elders behind the wheel says. I agree. We should support our elders. We shouldn't support fraud. We shouldn't support liars. We shouldn't support con men. We shouldn't support scammers. We can support our elders. We can also not support scammers, right? That's fair, right? I mean, it is love, truth, so I could be truthful. Yes? Okay. All right. Let me finish up. That's the thing about the scam, Wesley. He mixes in some of the truth to reel you in. And he'll mention and he'll say key phrases and key things where if you look it up, it's like, oh snap, that is true. But he's omitting certain things. He's manipulating the quotes here. He's changing some things here and there. He's not giving you the full context, so you think it's legit, but really it's bogus. You think he's saying something, but really and truly, it's like a long run-on sentence. If you listen closely, he just be rambling and rambling and rambling and rambling. And he uses some big words and things you never heard of, so it sounds like, oh man, dude might know what he's talking about. Nah, he just been scamming and been doing it for so long that he's smooth with it. That's all. Any other questions? Because I'm almost at the end. Any other questions before I get up out of here? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's see. I feel you, Dre Sean 3K. I feel you, man. Dre Sean 3K, 3 stacks. Dre 3 stacks said our problem is that we accept what we are told and we do not go and learn for ourselves. I agree. Many people just accepted what Taj was telling them and ran with it. See, and here go. Noble Drew Ali said what he said for us to read in between the lines. According to who? Did Noble Drew Ali say read in between the lines, or is that what you're taking from as your opinion? And then reading in between the lines is up to interpretation. It's subjective. What's in between your lines might not be what's in between my lines. So what we talking about? How about let's read what Noble Drew Ali said and follow what Noble Drew Ali said. I appreciate that comment. I didn't mention that. Thank you for the comment, Chief Quinn. Man, Chief K, man. I don't want to mess up your name. Chief K, one time for the one time. Chief K said, neither did Taj mention that the prophet said, you who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those who know law in the city hall. Now, why is this important? It's because Noble Drew Ali respected the government on a city level, not just the federal or the United States Republic as Taj tried to play it. No, Noble Drew Ali respected the federal government. Noble Drew Ali respected the state government. Noble Drew Ali respected the city government. In fact, told Moors, if you doubt me, go to the people in City Hall and ask them. So Taj speaking against the United States of America, speaking against us being American citizens, speaking against us respecting the laws and government. I didn't even show the part where he was talking about don't call if you interact with officers, don't call them officers. I didn't even get into that part of the clip. It's there. It's plenty of footage of him saying this nonsense. But I did want to highlight and shout out Chief K. Let me finish up real quick. Pause on the name. Yeah, it's a lot of people. There's a lot of people getting to that bag, man, scamming and scheming. Yeah, I don't want to sit down at Taj Tarik's scamming roundtable. No, no, no. No, no, no. Mike Lowry again, your agents, because ain't none of y'all sat down and had a one. I want to talk to clear the air. Until then, stop hating. Even the dude you interviewing, he ain't never met Bey, probably. Moors. But I met Taj Tarik Bey. I talked with Taj Tarik Bey. So I'm not qualified to speak? Oh. Taj Tarik Bey is speaking publicly. He's scamming people publicly. I'm not allowed to speak and say that he's scamming people publicly? Come on, man. Come on now. Well, Moorish Americans, in particular, I'll speak for myself. Allah is the Arabic name for God. It's what Muslims or Muslims choose to identify or choose the name that we use for our Creator. That's why we say Allah as opposed to God. It's simple. Some people call him Yahweh. Some people say the Most High. Some people say it's different names in different cultures, but everywhere he is the cause, the root, this root from which all think. Come on now, talk to him, somebody. Talk to him, somebody. Talk to him, somebody. Talk to him. What about Light to Jiri Bey? She's a scammer also. Hope that answered the question. Let's see. Oh man, I didn't see this this kind of troll person. Yeah, I don't like that. Boop. Yeah, everybody coming together to build is a challenge. You know what I mean? But we got to be able to put our egos to the side. You know what I mean? Truth and reconciliation. You know what I mean? It's a lot of folks. So I think we need to look into that process. Yeah. 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 What do I mean by temple more? People that call others temple moors, typically they're saying because they're saying you have Moors should be in the temple, or Moors are always quoting the Moor Science Temple of America this and Noble Drew Ali in the temple that. It's like, oh, you're so obsessed with the temple, so that hence the name Temple Moors. Come on, champ, man, chill out for a second, man. I'm almost done. I know, man. I know. Last couple of comments, dog.
Stop texting you guys.
That doesn't make sense because civics has nothing to do with religion. Brook intellect. I get what you're saying. What I'll say is I'm not exactly sure what the comment was about, but with Noble Drew Ali in the Moorish Science Temple of America, that was, to me, the unique and beautiful thing, is that it was teaching us both the spiritual or the religious component of life, as well as helping us with the national or civic side, teaching us about our religion and teaching us how to follow laws and how to be better citizens. Seems like a great organization if done the right way. And just to add this in, Noble Drew Ali wasn't against, or like, it didn't demean or belittle Christians or Christianity. In fact, said Christianity is all right for those that prefer it. That's what Noble Drew Ali said. Taj advises that we do our own research, just trying to better understand when you claim he is scamming or misdirecting. You can rewind the video to check it out, but to sum it up real quick in like 2 seconds, Taj Tarik Bey is a liar. He's claimed to be a Grand Sheikh and an Emir, Consul General, all of these titles as part of the con and the scam. He uses these titles to give him this air of authority or this air of legitimacy, and then he scams people, selling them products, merch, appearances, packages, consultation, lectures, etc. That's how he's scamming. Yes, he says do your own research. He says a lot of things, and many of them are lies. Many of them are manipulations of something that Noble Drew Ali said in order to help strengthen his scamming. I hope that cleared it up for you, MM. Last thing. How can you be a scammer when you pour wisdom daily? That question is non-cipher. That question is invalid question. Taj is a scammer. Taj is not pouring wisdom daily. That question makes you have to accept the proposal, like that he is actually pouring wisdom. He's not. He's pouring out a bunch of BS. You know what I mean? A bunch of nonsense. A bunch of rhetoric, useless rhetoric. But I made it to the very end of the chat. Thankfully, I don't see anybody else asking any questions. Any other questions? Any other questions? Back up, man.
I just want to say bye.
You got it, man. You said bye. Back up.
Wait.
Back up, man. Come on, man. Any other questions before I get up out of here? Last thing, I'm about to get something to eat, participate in Ramadan. Oh, wow. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate that comment, Chief K. Yusuf Rami Bey never gave... Cam, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Come on, dog. Yusuf Rami Bey never gave Taj the title of Emir. Yeah. That dude, Hannibal Bey, is a scammer also. But just the idea, just the attempt to say Taj Tarik Bey is an Emir is great. Excuse me, let me not say that. Is wild. Yes. Amsum Bey, Taj has dropped a lot of videos. He has. He's been scamming for quite a long time. And he needs those videos as part of his scam. I hope you understand. But I have to get to making this dinner because it is way past the time that I was planning to. Thank you all for watching. Again, as I close, just to sum it up, Taj Tarik Bey is the king of the scammers. He's at the top of the top. He's been doing this for about 40 years now, since 1982 at least. He's created several different offshoot organizations to strengthen and continue his scam. He's taught his scams to others, and put them onto the scam and have them working a scam probably receives a little kickback from their organizations. The point being, stay away from Taj. Do not believe in his teachings or support his teachings or propagate his teachings. Don't go trying that stuff that he's telling you to do. Cam, can you chill on that, man? You making so much background noise, champ. He's killing me, dog. 1 second.
I'm done.
All right, come on, champ. I'm almost done, dog. If you're a Moorish American, if you're a Moor, study what Noble Drew Ali said. Don't believe in any of these offshoot organizations. Taj, the Moors Order, the Round Table, Great Seal, R.V. Bey, Enforce the Constitution, USAR, AMPAC. I know I'm forgetting some, but it's plenty of offshoot organizations. Steer clear of them all. If you really want to be interested and you want to support and you want to be a part of the movement, you should join the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's not to get them out because we still need to do some things with the Spring Branch Council, but you for sure want to stay away from Taj Tarik Bey. You for sure want to do that. You get yourself caught up in some stuff you don't want to be. And for all the people that may have watched us all the way to the end, that are not Moors, that are watched from the outside, I apologize for the confusion. This Taj Tarik Bey dude has been scamming and misleading and confusing people for longer than I've been alive, since 1982 at least. So he's gotten really good at spreading these lies, so much so that people don't even realize that it came from him or that it's a lie. So I apologize for the confusion. But again, true Moorish Americans, we follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, which is teaching us about our religion and how to be better American citizens. Not no sovereign citizen nonsense, not no jurisdiction nonsense, not no stealing people's land nonsense, none of that. If you have any questions after watching this, Taj Tarik Bey supporters, followers, if you still want to argue after this, well, you can put it in the comment section, but I'll probably ignore you. I'm just going to be honest. But it's all love, though. It's all love. And with that, I think I'm done. Anything from Noble Drew Ali I want to close out with? I feel like I need to. I think in the let's see if I can find something. Let's see if I can find something here. Can I find something to close out with? Let's see. What can I do here? We're going to close out with something. You know what? Since we're about to start with Ramadan, we'll close out with the chapter on religion. First 3 lines, real quick. There is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. The sun is not Allah, though his noblest image. He enlightened the world with his brightness. His warmth give life to the products of the earth. Admire him as the creature, the instrument of Allah, but worship him not. To the one who is supreme, most wise and beneficent, and to him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. To Allah alone. Stop worshiping Taj. All right? All right, you good brothers and sisters, stop worshiping that man. That's not God. It's not Allah. He ain't even a prophet or a messenger. We're going to end it there. Thank you for watching. Love is the key. Love is the way. Much love to you and yours. And even love to scamming old Taj. And that's all. Have a great day. All right. Peace.